Hi, hope you guys having a good morning, evening, night, and fish like that. And in this video, I'm playing with T1 Gumayusi, or as I called him, T1 Gumayusi. Some disclaimers, I didn't know it was Gumayusi until someone told me in my stream. That's an important note, because I ended up reporting him and flaming him. In turn muting him, which was unfortunate, but I did not realize until then. I don't remember much of this video, which will actually be an advantage when doing this video here. So I can try and give some reasonable explanation for what I'm doing. I know that I did some trolling in this game, but for the most part, I would like to say that my impact was in a majority. So, firstly, we're just going to get rid of bedside. Because the thing that I said in champ select here, and everything is just stacked red. Instantly, we can see Jay spreading up top here. I'm spam pinging this. In champ select, I did give a long speech, so there's a possibility that he muted me or just muted in general. I told everyone, if you're playing League of Legends on a Friday and you don't want to play and you just want to FF, you shouldn't be playing the game. The reason why I said that is actually because this player was in my game last game, playing Lux, going like 0-10 and crying for FF. And it is something that throws me off frequently when people start crying. I get tilted, I try and force plays to like make the game seem more playable, but in turn that can end up hurting the situation a lot more than not. I do think, however, that it's kind of good to turn the vision off here, or like on, so we can see what the enemy is. Because also I asked Jace to check my blue since he was just there. So we're going to now see the entire vision here. Why they're going here, I'm not sure. Obviously, if they want to invade the Twitch, he most likely starts red. Another thing to note, even though the Emerald meme with him losing, is that most of the games that he plays, and most of the games I have played, all of the players are or have been above Master last season. About 60-70% of this lobby here, based on the previous ranks, was Masters on end split. Somewhere Diamond 2 and somewhere Diamond 1. So, just figured I'd give that note as well. Okay, let me just double check if I have anything. I have a dancing rat. We can leave that one. I have map cover. No. Alright. So, just off the bat here. Bad cover. I asked again Jace to check my blue. This is important for later. But we will start the game now. Alright. So again, I'm not sure if he muted to begin with, but he wasn't communicating throughout the entire game. And he did some troll calls, which I'll get back to later. And there's actually another thing I want to reflect on in this game. That is like power spikes. Because usually when I play the game, I just think about my own. Okay, I'm not strong enough yet to like play this dragon, so we just give it. And there was one fight here where T1 Gumayusi didn't want to go for a dragon. And after the dragon, he seemed a lot more willing to attend team fights. So I'm curious to see in reflection now if he had more items, or like an item that maybe makes sense that he would want before trying to explode more on the map. So we're going to pay attention to that. But okay. That's also a thing I want to cover in my next video, because I did have a Greek player that trolled me very hard. And ended up telling me to rope and everyone else in the team to rope, while just forcing the game with not strong enough items to be able to have an impact. And I was a bit tilted this game. I think before this one, before the Lux game, I had two players, like 2 games in a row where someone went AFK. The Mordekaiser game was the first one, he went AFK. We ended up winning that one 4v5. My entire team was crying, but I told them frequently to shut up and that we can win. But they would just cry and say FF. But we did end up winning that one. Game after that, I had a Draven that also went AFK. And then the game after that, it was this Zoe here on Lux that also just was crying. And then we go into this game here. So I had a rough start here. I'm doing quite well though. My day did start like 14-2 or something overall. Now I'm currently like 17-18-6, I think, or something. But okay. So instantly here, Nunu goes mid. I think the important thing to note here is that Xin Zhao did ping originally that he's gonna full clear and then camp top, or like go top, but he doesn't do that. Then this happens. So he actually ended up killing Echo, which was like happy about. Xin Zhao is here. I see that he has blue buff, right? But we're just gonna let this play out. At this point, it's just doomed. I just want to try and like at least get a kill, which I do. So like in turn, I'm kind of happy about this. But now I'm left in an awkward spot. At this point here, since he has blue and red, I mean only blue and no red, it is obvious that he did take no blue. However, if he did have red blue, then I would be not sure if he did red like blue into red into like one camp and then down here. But since he only has blue, I am certain that it's my blue that is gone. Right. So at this point when I spawn, I know that my top side is gone. So now I have nothing to take. And it's a bit challenging. So the thing I end up doing now is thinking if I should take their blue. I see that Xin Zhao did go for these top camps here. So I'm like, okay, I can try and take their blue side. Echo comes here, so I'm like, yeah, shit, he warded or something. Or like he's aware, which makes it even more sketchy for me. But even then, like, Skirl is up, and I see he goes back to mid lane again. And I can't remember exactly if I took this and then went for blue. Yeah, so I did that. I'm taking this first. Hey, we can still see the camps going away. So I see that the entire jungle is still up. Like, I have nothing coming back up yet, right? So I have a lot of time in. But now I spot Xin Zhao. Top lane. So I'm like, okay, I can take the blue. But then there's always the problem of, oh, does their bot lane have vision on the blue? Do they know I'm here? So like, Vel is fighting down here, right? ADC and them are contesting it. So I'm always on edge. I'm trying to position myself a bit more away here. Initially. But then I see them back again. So I just try and take what I can. Anytime they leave vision, I'm very concerned. But then I see them again, so I can just chill. Right, which is also why I'm sitting my Q here. Normally I would like to just use my Q. Just to clear the camps faster. But there's a very big downside to that. And using your Q to kill camps can be very bad. So you have to be very like careful of when you use your Q. On Twitch and jungle camps. Because when you're like default clearing autopiloting, it is very easy for you to just forget everything and just press your Q. And then someone goes mid lane or something and ganks, and then you can't run to help because you don't have your Q. Because walking in with that Q will A, just leave them to run away. Or you will just not have the angle that you would want. Now we see Citizen bot lane. I'm trying to take the kill, but Ignite runs and gets it. A bit unfortunate. But it's not too bad. Do I end up inting here? I was gonna say that I inted. Oh yeah. I did. In hindsight, this was bad of me. But I think if they were a bit more ready, we probably could have worked something out. But anyway, still a bit tilted. Have to remember the 4 games I had before this one. Overall, I think the biggest success has just been muting all. Not deafen, but mute all instead. I think I got vision, yeah. I'm not sure. It's like I've obviously had a rough start here, right? Since now has a huge advantage on me in terms of levels and everything. My jungle in general is quite fucked. And it's very uncertain where I can actually go. Because I'm not getting any vision. Normally the top lane or mid lane or something would give some sort of mid vision towards top side. So I would have some more information, but since I don't, I just opt to give the blue. And in turn again, we're going to turn on the entire vision here. And we'll see that he goes to the blue, most likely. No, he goes to the top, okay. But again, the main point here is that he's in my topside jungle. I don't feel comfortable at this point to try and contest. Not sure what he's doing. But anyways, I'm just chilling. I don't care about losing my HP. I'm just killing the camps in whatever order I want. Primary goal to get 6. If I see some potential, then that's still fine. They obviously run back here, which leads to this not being anything at all. So then it's just back to trying to get my level 6, which I'm going to get very soon. Also, gold is another thing to look at. No. I walked around there, of course. This is self-explanatory. I wasn't in range for the thing. So Draven dies here because I didn't get to get in range yet to tank. And now we'll just quickly address like another thing that happens here, right? Like this wave is obviously shoving out, but it's not going to push out yet. But then Rel starts pushing this, and she shouldn't. She should just leave. She pulls the wave, and then she does this, which is actually bad for her ADC. Because if this wave stays here, then our wave dies faster, and it pushes into Draven again, leading him to get more CS and Astro less. Right? So like, Rel really chose this here. She should have just left the wave completely and walked away. Which is why I'm just recalling. And she dies for it too. Huge mistake from her. Because now also you can look at the wave. This would have been way past. There would have been way more red minions here than there are blue. But because of what Rel did, she ends up giving 300 gold. But also less CS for Draven, more CS for Astro. So just every sequence of that play from Rel was terrible. I don't remember much from this game. Even though it was one of the last games I played. The only thing I really remember is that I had GUMA on my team. Obviously Friday, wanting to relax a bit. Memories can fade. So like even though he dies there, it's good to just path away. I mean, since I did just take dragon, so there's a low chance that anyone will be there. Yeah. My overall experience with Jace in general too is just very bad. I think most people know that like one of my most hated champions is Jace. Not because the champion is annoying or anything, but just because people can't play him and they just tend to int or like underperform on the champion. If not early, then especially late. It's very infrequent that you'll have a Jace that plays well consistently throughout the entire game and has a good impact. But I will say that GUMA did play alright here. I just had some dislike towards some of the things that he did. Yeah. At this point here, I have two options. I can either just run away, run to my tower, or this tower here, run away from everyone. I do force it, even though it's a 4v1 at this point, but I do see Zoe coming, so I'm like, okay, something can work here. I'm by a turret, I'm safe, I have flash. It's like I see no problem trying to force here. Only thing I really shouldn't have done is do this, I think. I could have played this a bit more cautiously, but I think this is still a good call. It's just a bit too overforced, especially considering what's happening here. But at one point, it's just about getting damage out, getting them low. And then I see Sin Sao, which means that I have to kind of walk away. But then she lands the bubble on him, which is good. Because that means that we can get him. Can't remember if I ended up dying here. No, I did. But again, Gumayusi is just pushing top lane. Getting towers. I don't mind this at all. He just used TP, so obviously he couldn't have joined the fight. I don't really see a problem with this. It worked out for us. But one thing that I did kind of end up noticing here is like, since we're all AD, I kind of don't want to go AD. I want to go AP. So even though I have Hubris, and you could say, okay, I shouldn't have bought Hubris, I should just go for straight Ashes. I don't think it's too bad. I've played a lot of builds in jungle. I've played Hullbreaker in jungle. I've played Hubris. I've played Collector, AP. Everything can work. I think that my spikes are a bit slower. Like my strongest spikes, but it's kind of like a flat line. So it's still like I have impact, but I'm not as strong as I could have been. But I'm also like not weak. But since my next item is going to be Nash's, I kind of want to complete that before I feel like big confidence again. Because my worry here would be that I would have to play into a Sin Sao with Tabai. And already having 2 AD champions against that. And me feeling like he was ahead in the game led me to not want to go AD. I think in hindsight though everything could work, but I also do feel like AD's maybe like a bit stronger into AP's a bit stronger into Astral. I mean, looking back now, I think both would have been fine. But preventing them from getting too much resist by going AP is an overall good thing, I think, for our team. But it would have, of course, been better if I just went for Nash's directly. What did I do here? Oh, I think I was typing in chat. I was probably asking at this point here if it was GUMA or something. Because someone in my chat came in and said it. Yeah, at this point I know. I knew it was GUMA. I'm certain. And he plays as well. Because I wanted to talk to him, like to get him to reply, because I was watching the Faker game where he was playing Nico, and I noticed something that Faker wasn't doing that I think would have been very good for them. So I wanted to somehow get across to him. So I was like destined, because when I watched that game, I was like, damn, I wish I could tell it's the Faker somehow. Because if he could do that, then they would have like much better angles. And the thing there is, just to elaborate that, if somehow like some T1 players watching this, when you're playing Nico and you use your W, oftentimes you'll see like they send the W clone into the enemy team. But no, never do they pretend the clone is just standing still, like where they're standing. And then when you send the W into the enemy team, you send yourself instead. So then the enemy team is like, just hit Nico sending the W in. Like, just ignore it. Like, if you watch the T1 game, you'll see they just take a sense Nico clone in and they just straight up ignore it. But imagine if that was Faker on that Nico clone. And then he just ulted when he's in the middle of all of them. So that's something Faker never did that entire game, and something he should have done. Maybe it's not like a thing he's seen. Because a lot of the time I've had like minions or something, like Nico be a minion, and... this sequence there I think is important to talk about. And then we'll get back to the Nico thing. So I don't have a very good position here, but Rel goes in. So like at this point here, I don't want to like overcommit into anyone. So like I just care about getting damage out, but I can't finish anyone out. Like I can't finish anyone. So at this point I damage Astral as much as I can, but my ults ran out. So like, even though I would like maybe like ult for this moment here, I still had to use it earlier just to get damage out. Right? And then I have to back off. That was a bit of a weird interaction, I think. But yeah. It's like oftentimes Nico will transform into like a minion in the game. And then just send the minion forward, but they will not be the minion, they will just send the clone into them. But I played against someone that played Nico and they did that, but instead of like sending the clone, they sent themselves. And like I'm just so like used to Nico just sending the clone in. Right? So I'm like didn't really think about it, but suddenly they're doing it. But they did it too much. It's like eventually I caught on, right? Like as a one-time or two-time thing in a game, I really think it should be happening, especially if there are key champions in any team that you need to get to. It is something that you need to have in your arsenal as like a knowledgeable like thing you're able to like think of. That's a possibility, but also have like some kind of ability of executing it. Because I mean, it's not something you should really just try in the first time, because you need some kind of practice, right, to like make the clone seem believable that it's still you like standing in the backline, and to make them believe that the clone that's running in towards them is a clone and not you, because it will be you, right? But that is something I know that for a fact after watching that game that Faker doesn't know. Right? It's just like a very unique thing to have in your toolset, especially when you're playing champions like Nico or something. And Twitch and other champions will all have like these unique like small play things they can do sometimes to just throw the enemy off. Like Twitch can use his stealth in certain ways to like make the enemies question themselves, even though it might not be like 100% their quick play. Like everyone have like these small niche things that is like something you can do. Again, see them all here. Just get damage out. And I end up dying again. Yeah, I was really trying to say that to Guma, but I asked him in game like, Gumayusi, is that you, question mark? And I didn't see any answer, but then after the game I realized he was muted because again, I did report him for his early game. I'm prone to being more triggered towards Jace's bad performance than other champions, so I'm like, it's more often than I will report him, someone on Jace, than I will someone else. So the last dragon fell here. Okay, yeah, wait, is it? Huh. So I think it might have been the last dragon where I wanted Guma to join and us to team up, but no one's doing anything. Like, it's very hard to describe in the moment I can. The people are forcing things too early, going in too early, not grouping up and waiting and being patient enough to like set up dragons or something, especially like it's a team that we are, where we don't have that much frontline. We have a Vel, of course, but we still need like everyone, right? But I think it was actually last dragon. So we're just going to look at this play first. I flashed forward, but I mean, I'm not doing any damage. I mean, I'm doing some, but not enough. But okay, 1940. I just want to go back to this dragon for quickly here. Just to reflect on this one again. Because I'm pretty... Yeah, I have 2 items there. I'm actually quite strong at this point. But why did we... Do I ping dragon here at any point? No. But I think it was this dragon that I wanted to do, and I'm pretty sure that the reason why he didn't want to fight is because he hasn't his mana scaled yet, and he also doesn't have the LDR, which we see just a couple minutes later. But again, I think my communication was very poor here in terms of doing dragon, and also my own execution in terms of like dragon being the objective, as I seem way more interested in fishing for kill here. But yeah, it's still interesting to look what spike he had at this point, because he did not seem to want to join in the team fights. And as we can see, his mana immune at this point is not complete. Okay, so it's 3 item spike. This is important to remember though. Sometimes people will not seem interested in joining or like being able to join. And the reason is often because they're missing their own spikes. And obviously you will know your own spikes and when you're strong. And even though you know that if everyone on your team comes, you will win, individually they will also have thoughts about their own spikes. And obviously GUMA at that point, or somewhere around this point, didn't think that he was strong enough yet to join. So that's an interesting thought experiment there, I think. Okay. Now we will keep going. It is something I've thought about a lot though. Because I know for a fact when I can 1v9 games, right? And it's been a thought I've had because it's to become less selfish. Because obviously there are champions in the game like already deceased mid laners like Cassio, etc. That if they're OTPs, they know like if I get these items, I can carry the fight. And I want to get a lot better at communicating that with players. Like, hey, what do you need to do something? Right? And they're like, yo, if I get this, like, you can ask me on Twitch, right? Like, what do you need and what can you do? And I can say, if I get these items, I can kill the entire enemy team, right? Some champions will be like, I get these items, I can do this, I can kill that person. Like Evelyn be like, I can assassinate the ADC. I know I can do that. I've played this Evelyn 100 times, so I know every angle. Like, I know I can do that, right? So sometimes communicating and asking like, what do you need? What can you do? Can you do anything at this point is very good. And it's something I want to get better at. Oh, maybe it was Slayer Dragon actually, now that I look at it. Because this is Baron, right? Yeah. So, soon we are going to have Guma's Troll. Great trolls. He goes for a flank here. This is all good. Again, I can't really walk too forward, but I still try to damage everyone. As you can see, I'm damaging Xin Sao and Nunu. And then they all die, but we are only 3 alive. And at this point here, I ping Dragon. I want to go there, right? But then they want to listen to this. So again, hindsight my communication here. I should spam ping. What's going on? I should spam ping more away from Dragon here because I knew this was a bad call. But then I think I said on stream like, okay, Guma, let's see, bro. Let's see it. Like, they like triggered like sarcastically, like, okay, let's just see this go wrong. A lot of the time I will walk into place knowing they're wrong, just like kind of humiliate place my team. Right? I know this is a bad call. But I'm like, yeah, let's see how it goes, Guma, man. Like, let's just see how equal goes. And we have to back off, and now we can't take Dragon. However, if we would have done it the other way around, we could have just gone straight to Dragon, took it. But now we lose Dragon for free, because we can no longer contest it, because of Guma's bad call. But I should have communicated that a lot stronger by pinging more to get Guma off it, and then just pivoted for Dragon anyway. But sometimes players will get triggered at that, like, why are you not doing Baron? Why don't you go Baron? I pinged it. But I know it's a bad call, right? We tried it, we saw that it went bad. But if I wouldn't have gone for it, maybe they would have tilted as well. So that's like another like weird like thing to think about, right? Like, if I go for this, I know it's a bad call, I know it's not gonna work. But if we don't go for it, this person and this person might both be triggered and tilted. But now they got to see their version fail, so it wasn't a good call. So then in retrospect, like their emotional state will remain higher at this point than if I ignore their call and just went for Dragon. If that makes sense. So, we can't contest Dragon. We have to give that. I know they're going to go for Dragon. So I just opt to just farm. Right? Like, I'm still needing my Rabadons here. I'm getting pretty close. So I'm just wanting to finish that. I don't know Guma though. I don't know how he is personally. He didn't type anything in this game. So I have like nothing to gauge on there. But now the fights I can't recall even though I would like to. Because at this point there I'm pretty sure that I can finish my Rabadon. Or I needed one more minion maybe or something. But okay. Guma is attending team fights at this point, so I'm very happy about that because at the start of the game, as we saw, he was just playing side lane, and I felt like he was maybe like trolling at that point. But at this point, I'm feeling pretty good because everyone seems to be very active and wanting to contribute, which was not an impression I got earlier. I'm scared of the Nunu here because obviously he can steal it with his Q dealing more damage or like as much as mine. But he dies. So we get annoying. But I still did like a little bit funky one there. Because again, I think I would be able to steal it. Like if I had Rabadon there, a little bit more AP, I would feel confident in taking it. But at this point here, with this little AP, I don't feel confident in my smite. And usually at this point here, I would not finish my boots. I would get something else. But because of the game state, I just opt to get my boots here. Just for the extra movement speed. I don't think these boots are very worth it. I've been thinking about going Swifties or something. I just don't think the 10 ability haste is worth the money. Or the attack speed boots. Or the sword boots even is something I've opted into. But at this point, yeah, I just wanted to spend my money knowing that we're gonna look for something very soon. So I just wanted the movement speed. Again, I'm just waiting for players to get on the map here. Like, I know Guma's pushing bot. Like, everyone else was in base. I think I overextended a bit here. Like, I should have joined them sooner. But again, waves weren't even pushed. So I don't think there was like much of a reason to do this here. So I think overall, the 100% correct play, if everyone played correct, nothing would have happened up until this point anyway, but it did. But I definitely should have joined earlier. And at this point, I'm just trying to get that one kill there. And I'm trying one more time. I'm like, Guma. Tell Pekka to Nico W probably. Or like, try that, please. Win worlds. I can't remember what I said. It was something along the lines. And then we'll win. So that is my story on how I carried D1 Gumayusi in solo queue. And yeah, hope you guys have a good morning after showing fish like that, and take care. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.